How did Xbox go from having one of its best years ever in 2023 to a full-on community meltdown in February 2024? Some of the most prominent community members and Xbox content creators are calling this the death of the brand. How did we go from holding the line,
we will hold the line,
to holding the bag?
They die, and these shields, boys!
This is Colt Eastwood. Thank you so much for checking out today's video. We're going to talk about the death of the Xbox brand.
I do not want to see one piece of effing content make its way to PlayStation.
I'm GamePassDad, and today we're going to talk about why the Xbox community is losing their minds, the rumors that started it all, what Microsoft is doing to quell those worries, and I'll share some opinions at the end about what I think is actually happening. If you enjoy this video and find it useful or entertaining, please like and subscribe if you'd like to see more. It really is helpful, and I thank you for it. The controversy started around the beginning of February when rumors started to circulate that Hi-Fi Rush would be coming to PlayStation 5 and Nintendo Switch, rival consoles of the Xbox. Tom Warren from The Verge later confirmed on February 1st that these rumors were in fact true. This information about Hi-Fi Rush alone caused controversy in the Xbox community on Twitter and in the Xbox podcasting community. Gamers became even more enraged when Tom Warren confirmed that Xbox and Microsoft may have been in talks to bring Indiana Jones to other platforms shortly after its release. That's right. Over the weekend, Xbox Era also published an article about a major shift in Xbox's strategy where they would bring major console exclusives like Starfield to PlayStation 5. This was met with fervor from the Xbox community, to say the least. Batten down the hatches! The community's melting down!
It's where we hold them! This is where we fight!
The Xbox community took to Twitter to push back against this news. These rumors had gone too far, and if this was Microsoft's strategy going forward, people were unhappy about this. Xbox gamers felt betrayed. They felt like promises had not been kept, and they felt like this could possibly signal the beginning of the end for the Xbox brand. One of Xbox's biggest issues is their identity. Microsoft and Xbox have struggled over the last few years to prove that there's a reason for a gamer to buy an Xbox console. With the Game Pass program being one of the best deals in gaming, it is one of its biggest advantages that it has over any other system. And if Xbox is going to start releasing their exclusive titles on PlayStation and Nintendo, it might dissolve any advantage that it has. It has been proven by those other companies that exclusives are what sell consoles. And it seems that Microsoft might not be in the business of wanting to sell consoles any longer. Some in the Xbox community felt that their investments were in jeopardy. Some felt this was a betrayal by Microsoft, and the company's silence said all it needed for rumors and tribalism to spin out of control. Within days, the simple rumor that Hi-Fi Rush was coming to PlayStation and Nintendo Switch spread onward to Indiana Jones and Starfield, and even made its way to tentpoles like Halo and Gears of War. Prominent figures in the Xbox community on Twitter and Xbox podcasts and other podcasts on YouTube went rampant with rumors that Xbox was shutting down its gaming division, that it was the end of the brand, that this was doomsday. The Xbox community was in full-on panic. Arguments were springing up on Twitter and in Twitter Spaces almost every single hour of the day. Console warriors were taking to their keyboards to bash each other over which console was better and how Xbox has now become the beta test program for the PlayStation 5. All was not well in the Xbox community this week. When everything seemed to be at its worst, Microsoft broke its silence. Phil Spencer came out with a tweet in order to inform the community how they were going to update them with their plans going forward. We're listening and we hear you. We've been planning a business update event for next week. We look forward to sharing more details with you about our vision for the future of Xbox. Stay tuned. Which I have no idea what a business update event is, but it sure as hell hasn't happened any time before. The fallout from these rumors got absolutely insane and out of control. So what happened? Well, the gaming community as a whole took this as an opportunity to still lose their minds. They took to Twitter to meme the heck out of it, and content creators on YouTube clickbaited the ever-living daylights out of it. There must have been thousands of hours of podcasts made just about these Xbox rumors this week alone. There were rumors from all across the spectrum, and everyone was worried until this happened.
Until I find something that I want, right? That's not necessarily a great thing. Colt, are you okay?
Yeah, I got a DM right before the show started. I wish I would have read. I'm not going to say who it's from. Next week will be better. Laugh out loud. Don't believe everything you've read! Exclamation point.
So just like that, the hysteria starts to be quelled. Colt Eastwood received a text from someone that he trusts telling them to calm down. Don't believe everything you read. It's not as bad as it seems. Jazz Corden also around the same time released a tweet that I can't find. I think it was a reply that said something along the same lines, that it's probably not as bad as everyone's trying to make it out to be. Tim Dog has still been hosting spaces on Twitter all week. It's still a touchy situation. But at least now, the people who've been kicking this into a fervor are finally starting to back off. Microsoft has made an announcement. Some trusted individuals have stated that they don't think it's as bad as what everyone seems to think, and things are coming back to normal. Things were very tense in the online Xbox community this week. If you're not searching it out, or you're not in the know or participating in these communities, you might not have even heard anything about these rumors or known that there was this big of an issue happening. Because in the grand scheme of things, it might not matter to most people. Me being an Xbox content creator who aspires to continue memeing and contributing to this community and keeping others informed as to the comings and goings of Microsoft, I have been plugged into what's going on, and that is why I'm sharing it with you. I'd like to take a moment to briefly review the best and worst case scenarios that could result from these rumors and highlight why I think the community was panicking so much. First off, worst case scenario. Microsoft becomes a full third-party publisher. They start to publish their games on every single platform that they are allowed to without making any back-end Game Pass deals to bring Game Pass to more screens and systems, and they just start to publish the games on every single platform they can, PlayStation being their main rival. This would completely erode the advantage that Microsoft has spent tens of billions of dollars in order to create a library of exclusive games only for the Xbox and Game Pass. It would mean that Xbox doesn't expand their influence by bringing Game Pass to these other platforms before it allows them to have these Xbox games, and also gives these great games straight to the competitor, which over the past decades, exclusive games have proven to make or break video game consoles. It is the reason that people buy them instead of just building PCs or finding different entertainment. If you have strong exclusive games, then consumers will buy your product. That is the idea, and that is what people are afraid of. That without exclusive games on the Xbox platform, its identity will continue to erode. There will be no more reason for a consumer to buy an Xbox, and slowly, over time, the Xbox itself will be phased out. People are worried that their game libraries may be in jeopardy, that their investments on the platform may be squandered, and at that point in time, they may have to pony up another $500, $600, $700 in order to buy a PlayStation if they do not wish to spend even more to build a PC. This also could eventually mean that if Microsoft becomes a publisher instead of a console maker and developer, that there will be less competition in the console gaming space. It will mean that Sony does not have a real competitor in the high quality, high performance video game space on console, and that they will continue to be able to practice anti-consumer practices, charging as much as they want for consoles, accessories, and not focus on the gaming experience, because when there's competition, the gamers win, because the console makers have to focus on quality and value and that gamer experience in order to win over and serve their customer base. This is the worst case scenario. Now, the best case scenario, which is a lot closer to what I think is actually happening. Best case scenario, Hi-Fi Rush is coming to all platforms. This is something that's pretty understandable and in line with what Microsoft has already told us about releasing the games on the platforms that they've been released on before, and allowing these publishers that have been acquired to do business as they wish. These publishers do have quotas that they have to meet and are expected of them. They do have to be profitable, and it could be a strategy in order to make sure that if they're not quite reaching the sales that they desire, that they could possibly opt to release games on third-party platforms in order to increase those sales numbers. This is much the same as the strategy that was employed when Microsoft acquired Mojang and Minecraft. They allowed Minecraft to be published on many different platforms that were not Xbox or PC, and that is working just fine. These properties have a reach far beyond just the Xbox platform, and if they do have that broad appeal and they're not the core Xbox properties, I don't see as much of an issue with allowing these publishers to meet their quotas by releasing on other platforms. Would it be ideal if we had them all to ourselves? Yes, that would be great. But with the advantage Game Pass provides, Xbox will always be the lowest barrier to entry to play these games, and the Xbox Series X is one of the most powerful devices that can play it in console form. The only other option you really have is PC, which is still part of the Xbox ecosystem. In my opinion, this type of news is not the type of thing to cause the mass fervor and the mass exodus and all the outrage that we saw this week. Ultimately, what I think happened is that the Hi-Fi Rush rumor got out. It became credible that it's going to be released on multiple platforms, which makes sense. And from that point on, rumors started coming out that Xbox was in talks about possibly bringing other games to other platforms, which Xbox and Microsoft are a giant business. They probably talk about all sorts of hypotheticals all day long. If they are going to release other exclusive games on other platforms, I don't believe it's going to be as bad as what everyone made it out to be. I don't believe that this is going to be also for major tentpole titles like Halo or Gears of War or Forza. But at the same time, no matter what actually ends up happening, we have not even gotten an actual announcement yet. The rumor mill sparked up, the community grabbed it and ran with it. Everyone went absolutely crazy and got upset before we even actually had an announcement. And that's how I feel, is that at the very least, let's wait until we have an official announcement to get this kind of anger coming out. We have the ability to shape the business of Xbox and the community that we are in, but the amount of mental anguish that was caused this week by this was absolutely insane. I would just hope that we don't go this crazy just based off rumors again in the future. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments. Do you believe that this is a best case scenario? Do you think this is a worst case scenario? Do you think Microsoft should release their games on third-party platforms? Let me know. And if you'd like to catch me streaming, you can find me on Twitch Wednesdays and weekends, or the Xbox Ultimate Podcast on Friday nights. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Colt Eastwood got a text, and Jez also said to temper expectations. Whatever happened to tempering expectations when it comes to rumors? We have to do it when it's good news, but why can't we do it when it's bad news?